What's poppin', as they say. Welcome to my first ever attempt, well, it's really like my fourth or fifth trying to record this, at a post-com video for any of my draft games. I always prefer post-coms. I think it could be fun to record my thought process as I'm talking myself through an actual game at some point, but I don't want to get in my own head with being recorded. So we are going with the post-com because I also really like, the hindsight, the analysis that comes with it. I love watching Freeze Eyes post-coms, when Rabia does post-coms. All around, it really helps to elucidate the game we play on a more intellectual level than the immediate one of being in the game. So we are playing Shente, the Milwaukee Mawiles, who's a well-known player, a really good player, a fixture of the draft league scene. He reminded me, actually, after the game, that he was the first person to ever help me with any kind of prep. And the MDL, ran by Crossfire, the Washington Waylords. I suppose it may play a different sport than my Washington Naganadels. Yeah, and so I guess you could say we go pretty far back. And his team is not one that I would draft. I feel like I would never really want to draft 9 Mons. However, it kind of has everything you need. Mew on a team with 9 Mons, I think, is really essential. Something with that level of versatility is really important because it's almost impossible to prep for. I ended up prepping mostly for a Life Orb, Close Combat, or Dragon Dance set, something like that, and with like Ice Spinner and stuff. So yeah, it's a really difficult mon because it can literally do anything that you need it to. Brought some Toxic for that. We'll get into that in a sec. But yeah, he's got the sweepers. He got the bulk. Lucario was a snipe for me, actually, that I forgot to mention in the draft video. I really wanted that 90 speed tier priority fighting type. Wasn't going to Terra it because Wo Chen was the plan all along. But yeah, Lucario is a really good Pokemon, so he totally sniped me there. Definitely threatening with Terra. I've lost to Alolan Muck before with sub Focus Punch, and I know he loves his Galarian Linoone. It came to every game in the MDL. He just clicked Protect, and then with Quick Feet, Facade, just shipped stuff down until it went down to Toxic. It also has Terra now, so it would probably be Terra Normal for the most part. We do have things to take Terra Normal Facades from that, though, so not a huge problem, but it could be fun for him to run this season. Mega Venusaur is a very scary Pokemon in particular. People like to talk about how scary it is. I've seen multiple times. I don't think I've ever faced it before, actually. And I'll tell you, because of the post-com, this is a very scary Pokemon that we ended up facing against. Let's get into what I'm bringing to try and deal with him otherwise. We've got our Mystic Water, Aqua Jet, Liquidation, Alomomola. After this is Fizz Def, so it eats a hit from Blaziken. Liquidation it, should be able to, and then knock it out with Aqua Jet afterwards is the idea. We've also got Extreme Speed on REGIELEKI, which also has enough speed for +2 Adamant Blaziken. We also have Oricorio to take 1 hit. Actually, yeah, depending on the spread, it could maybe even take 2. I think it does 55 at +2 with its stabs from Blaziken, and I'm pretty sure it lives a Thunder Punch too. I'm not expecting it to be Stone Edge because Oricorio is a low tier. I'm not really expecting it to be all that respected. Gliscor is Spadef for his Zapdos. We also have Fling Acrobatics. Kind of end up wishing that I had Toxic Swords Dance instead, but Fling Acrobatics is fun and heat and will most easily, immediately deal with Venusaur. Don't know if we needed to do it all that immediately, so excuse me, a little bit of regret there, but it's okay. We have our Terra Ground and Nasty Plot Zoroark because, look, okay, he has plenty of ways to get up in speed. Plenty of ways to speed boost, literal speed boost over here. Easy Scarfer, Priority, Quick Feet, Dragon Dance, and Booster Energy, plus Rapid Spin. So, yeah, speed is not as much of an issue for him as it looks, but at the same time, if he's not running Protect on you or something like that, then on Blaziken, then Nasty Plot Zoroark should sweep. I had another variant of the team which did have an Assault Vest Wo-Chen that also had Terra Blast Ground. That was more. It ended up being what am I more scared of, Mew or Lucario, considering the rest of the team. And I was thinking, I think I'm probably more scared of Lucario if I bring Wo-Chen, because Lucario should be able to, if I don't have Regieleki to pick it off, because Terra Normal Extreme Speed after Rocks will knock me out. And so I was thinking, alright, we're going to have to bring the guy who is immune to the non-Bullet Punch priority moves, because I'm not thinking that Bullet Punch is that good into the rest of the team, and I don't think he would bring it just for Zoroark here. We have also our Goodra here. This is more of a Mew-oriented Goodra, because it does have Toxic, and I think it would be a little harder for my other option, which was Curse with either Rest and Sub, and also with either Rest or Sub, and then Rock Slide. Yeah, to deal with Mew. However, that set did deal a bit better with Venusaur. However, Venusaur was already doing about a third, even with no investment, with Earth Power. So Venusaur is a problem. We do have our Oricorio, hopefully, for it. We have Acrobatics over here for it. I also think that Zoroark deals better with Venusaur than Wo-Chen does. Absolutely does. We have Explosion as well, if I don't have anything else for that Venusaur. So that is pretty much going to be the squad. Let's go ahead and get into the battle. So we do see no Mew, and Mew was the reason why I was mainly considering bringing Wo-Chen. I did think that Zoroark would obviously be probably pretty good enough into Mew, so we did pick that. However, we chose correctly by not bringing the Wo-Chen, which I was really tempted up to the last minute to do. But there being no Mew means that we have chosen correctly. However, obviously, things are still looking really scary. He didn't bring anything Mickey Mouse like the Linoon. Sorry, I gotta disrespect that Pokemon just because it was really not doing anything to me here. However, obviously, I love, Mons that a lot of people consider unmons. I don't try and bring them. I try to bring things that are respectable, and a lot of people this season are not going to respect that Linoon, and they are going to pay for it. But it is not here, so we are gonna. Woo! We really dodged a bullet with that Linoon. Anyway, we are looking at this, and we are thinking, all right, it seems pretty easy to just go Mola first and flip turn out. We don't want to risk a knockoff on Gliscor. We don't want to risk a knockoff on Oricorio, because it's not like it can Oko Iron Shreds, which it's slower than. Zoroark is actually Goodra here. This ends up being a mistake, because we're actually going to use Goodra a little bit beforehand. So it's going to get chipped, and the illusion is not going to come into play for that reason, which is unfortunate. Probably should have picked Regieleki instead. Kind of the team idea had been Regieleki and then Terra Blast Ground into Iron Shreds. However, I just decided that I would rather have a potential scenario where he wants to close combat into a Goodra, and it ends up being Zoroark instead, than that scenario, which, at any rate, we live and we learn, because there's other things that were messed up with Illusion here, as you will see. So, again, yes, we are just gonna lead Mola and flip turn out. He does knock off my Mystic Water, which really sucks. He wanted to go for that to start. I was surprised to not see Rocks. So I'm thinking maybe he didn't have Rocks. We're going to have to see if he has rocks or not. Perhaps that's a little bit of a spoiler. At any rate, yeah, now we can safely bring out Gliscor, get the orb activation, go back into Mola to scout for Ice Spinner. Obviously, he has it. And we are just going to flip turn again. We don't want to attempt to liquidation or get any damage into anything like a Venusaur or a Zapdos or anything. So we are just going to flip turn again, get a nice reposition, and we are thinking, right there I was thinking, right there with this flip turn, I was thinking, okay, what do I actually have that can threaten this? And my only real option was Oricorio. However, he's just going to Mega Up and take 49. And then he's going to Leaf Seed and get out of range. So, already, we are in trouble with this Venusaur because this thing is just so bulky. It can't be toxic, and I don't have a lot of good offensive options for it. I am going to go right here into my defensive option for it, which, as I said before, it being Mono Earthquake Toxic Sub Protect, it's not actually going to beat it. It's going to just Earth Power there because it can't do anything into it because I am Sap Sipper, and we miss a Hurricane, which, you know, is fine. That's how it goes. And he Sludge Bombs into me, which is an amazing freaking chunk. Just ridiculous. It is only 44, but we took some prior chip. So, unfortunately, I am going to have to Roost again. And he is going to get a slightly bigger roll with the poison. So, without the poison, I believe this would have been fine. We missed that Hurricane. We Roost up. We take 45. I would have had another 2 chances to Hurricane without this poison. But, you know, that's fine. It's really unfortunate. It really is. But against Mega Venusaur, I think you kind of are going to need some luck. So, as you can see here, I'm about to go for another Hurricane. This is probably a mistake, because even if I do hit this Hurricane, which I don't actually have anything that can come in and immediately threaten it. So this was a mistake to give up this Oricorio. Not only because I could have brought it back in on something and roosted up, brought it back in on this and Hurricane, but also because it had Defog. So if he does have hazards here, I'm going to end up having to play with them. It would only be Stealth Rock, but still. This, I was kind of like, sheesh. I was just kind of like, oh man. I didn't really know what to do at this point against this, so I was just trying to hit it for what I could. And so, we're not playing too great to start off, I will admit. I was a long thought process between that and this turn when I come in and have to burn this Fling, because I do not want to burn this Fling on this Venusaur because I want it for Zapdos. This is where Swords Dance Toxic would have come in handy instead, because I can do around 50 with one Swords Dance, and then with 2 Swords Dances I can do over 50, and it's pretty easy for me to get that on Venusaur here. When I have when I have a Poison Heal, and when he just is not going to do a lot to me. I believe I resist both of the moves that he has revealed that he has here anyway. He does not have a Grass move, and even if he did, I'm Spadef, so big deal. Unfortunately, we are going to have to burn our Toxic Orb. He gets that off. I don't really care. And we are going to do the amount that we want on him with... I don't really know what he was thinking with Earth Power there, to be honest. I'm sure he was thinking that I was going to go in to Goodra on that turn, but I was not. I obviously, if I'm flinging, I think it should be pretty obvious that I'm about to Toxic Orb. I'm sorry that I'm about to Acrobatics. But yeah, so we do that, and now we know that he can't stay in. So we are going to go ahead and make this double into Goodra, and we get the matchup that we want into this Zapdos, and he can't really do anything to me. I could go right for a Toxic, but I'm thinking that he's probably not going to stay in. So he U-turns. He doesn't Volt Switch, which is correct moveset for him. So we just get our sub up, and we get... we could have protected there, but whatever. And then we go ahead and we get the chip on the Earthquake. And we do not want to eat one, so we go Mola, because we can't go Gliscor on this, and he gets his rocks up. So that really sucks, because obviously I do not have Defogger anymore, but also because I have Focus Sash on Zoroark. Now, if I could have somehow predicted that he was going to go for rocks, which, again, I didn't really think he had them, because I have Court Change, I have a bunch of different removal options, and also just because he didn't go for them off the rip. Maybe I could have predicted that because he was there to start, then he would have wanted to be a Rocks lead in the first place, which I suppose he is. However, he is defensive, and I was thinking he probably just wanted to get that knockoff first off that he did go for. So unfortunately, we're going to have our Sash popped, and we're going to have to play with Rocks. So that is annoying because we could have checked Blaziken that way, or I don't know, Scarfini, a lot of stuff could have worked with that Sash, but we're not going to have it, and we're going to have to be eating Rock's chip throughout the game. So whatever, we're going to have to deal. We are just going to flip turn again, obviously. He tries to punish me with Para. It does not happen. We get our Goodra back in, and he makes a pretty good play to go hard Feeny. I guess he predicts my Protect. I could have easily subbed again. At that point, I just wanted to make double sure that he was not going to be T-Wave or anything like that when I was protecting. Plus, I just wanted to get a little more health back. But he takes advantage, and he goes Feeny, which is pretty smart because it's not like I hadn't revealed Protect unto that point. There's plenty of... I could have been, you know, Curse, Rock Slide, or something like that. Maybe he was trying to cover for Toxic as well by going Feeny. And he didn't obviously want to go into either of the Steel types. And also, he didn't do anything to me if he went Venusaur. However, he also really doesn't do anything to me here because he's not going to do 25. So we are going to get our sub up. And at this point, I'm thinking I want to stall Misty Terrain out. I honestly should have protected on the turn before I subbed as well to attempt to do that. But as you'll see in a second, he's not going to allow me to stall out Misty Terrain. We go out of Earthquake because we can. Like I said, here comes Venusaur. And I just go right for the Earthquake. I could have maybe protected, but, you know, there's stuff he can do like Synthesis there, and might as well go ahead, get some more chip off, especially because now we can go Gliscor on that Earth Power, and we can threaten him with Acrobatics. Again, he can't stay in here, so we're just going to double into Goodra on the Zapdos. This time we're going to try and catch him with the Toxic because I haven't revealed it yet. He goes Lucario. I don't know what kind of play this is, but it really worked out for him. Because what if I sub? I can EQ, I can protect, I can, you know, I'm in a much better position if I have a substitute up against him. I can, you know, scout his Terra. I could even just EQ because he obviously shown that he does not really want to stay in there. But I was thinking that, well, yeah, I guess at that point I was thinking that he might want to discharge and roll for Para, or, you know, just see what I actually had because I hadn't actually revealed that I had anything for him. Maybe it's clear that Goodra's going to have something like Ice Beam, or maybe he was trying to cover for that with Feeny and with Lucario here, I suppose. Rock Slide as well for Lucario. But yeah, man, this play did not end up going well for me. I do predict him to have to sword stance. He actually could have just raw close combated, but I just didn't think he was going to because he was probably predicting me to switch there. And he does not Terra, so he takes a lot of damage. He does Terra here, but we do protect, and he's going to Ice Punch, predicting either Zoroark or Gliscor. And now at this point, I'm thinking, this is a true 50-50, and rather than attempt to predict the 50-50, I'm going to take the side of the 50-50 that is less negative for me if I lose it. Now, unfortunately, I do lose it, but I was okay with losing Goodra at this point, relatively, because it doesn't actually beat Venusaur. Again, this was more of a Mew check to begin with. Venusaur just sits on, sort of, not really. It does beat it's really more for Zapdos and Feeny, but we have other solutions for Zapdos and Feeny at this point in Gliscor, Mola, and Zoroark, and Regieleki, of course. So we have a lot of other solutions for those two, and I did not want to risk Gliscor or Zoroark at this point. So it's fine. We can get rid of or let him take Goodra more than anything. And unfortunately, we're going to learn how illusion works here. So the way I had it is I had it ordered as the last Pokemon in the party was Goodra, and then after that it was Regieleki. And I was thinking if Goodra went down, then Regieleki could come out, or Zoroark could come out and pretend to be Regieleki, and then maybe he would go Treads after that. But unfortunately, we are going to show as Gliscor, because the way it actually works is you switch around, and then your last party Pokemon, it doesn't just become that when it dies, it becomes whatever was switched into the final slot. So that sucks, but okay, we know that for the rest of the season now. Maybe should have known that in advance, but I'm not that well versed in using Zoroark. I had it in the PDL last season, the regular Dark Zoroark, and he came to one game. So yeah, he wasn't Terra or anything interesting like that. He was pretty pointless. I think he clicked something and then Memento, and I don't remember what it was, but he pretty much sucked. So unfortunately, we do not have Illusion in this game. We do not have Focus Sash in this game. So if Zoroark is going to put in work, it's going to have to do it with its raw abilities, or rather its raw stats. Yeah, he's able to go Feeny here. He's just going to eat a Bitter Malice, and he is Scarf, so he can get me afterwards. We are just going to switch out. We're going to Scout into Mola for a water move. We can't go hard Gliscor. He's going to do way too much. So we are going to go into Spidef Gliscor. And at this point, I'm thinking, holy crap, things are not going well. This is not my game. I don't know what's going on. This is not great. And so we definitely make a tilt play here by not roosting, and we didn't even calc that acrobatics because it was like a 12% chance actually. It looks worse than it is, but it was like a 12% chance to kill. And now he has got he's gonna say that's an 18% chance to kill, but he's looking at max. And I was actually like 208 Spidef, and I think max HP. So it's actually going to go all the way up to 56 because I'm not at 39. I'm at 38 point something because I'm exactly 135 HP. And at that point, rather than like 139 or something, it goes from a 31% chance to a 56% chance. So my play here was still to like stay in and hope that I get the like 44% roll, 43.8% roll, or whatever it is. It's totally plausible that I could, and I was going to roost there, get out of range, but we did not get it. At this point, I do have Aqua Jet on Mola, so I could have gone right into that. However, at that point, like Venusaur comes out and it just sits on everything and just does damage and stuff. So yeah, in retrospect, as this guy came out, I was like, why didn't I go Mola? But I was actually correct in bringing this guy out because by going Regieleki, which does outspeed Scarf Feeney, oh man, that is honestly, what a goat. What a goat Regieleki is for its ability to outspeed Scarfers. Like, this is so clean. I love this so much. But we are going to double. We're going to force him out into Treads. And this is a good matchup for us. And so he's going to do nothing. We're going to get another position. Now we're going to bring in our Zoroark. This is a matchup that we've wanted for a long time because now we're actually going to get a kill. And he is going to give up Lucario, which is amazing for us because Terra Normal Lucario with Life Orb, which he was, after rocks, will kill Regieleki with extreme speed. So giving up this is really good for us. I suppose he figured that Venusaur would die. There is too much chip on it, and Zapdos. I don't know. I guess he could have gone Zapdos, but he decides to give up Lucario. He could have given up Feeney. I really don't know if Lucario was the sack here, but he decides to go into it. Maybe he was thinking that I would, like, Terra and then Bitter Malice or something. I don't really know. There was no chance that I was going to Bitter Malice on Iron Shreds. So, yeah, he is going to give up the Lucario here, which is amazing for me. We do Terra up. And here comes Feeney with the Scarf again. At this point, I can just go back into Mola, eat one, and make that play that I was talking about before. Yes. Mystic Water, luckily, did not matter there. It would have been nice to have here. Okay, actually, yeah, I'm going to reset here real quick because, well, that's really good. We get another kill right off that turn. Right here is where we're thinking, all right, Blaziken is a huge threat. Things are not looking really good for us. Right now we're only down 1, but we were just down 6-3, and it's like basically we've just got our offensive mons left because Mole is not going to be able to survive here. We are really going to have to kick it in gear if we want to win this. We're going to have to start playing like a madman. Do we? Let's see. Well, alright, my first thought here is that there's no way that he's going to attempt to set up. There's no need for him to do that because my 2 remaining mons and this guy, who I can't really regenerate, are really frail. So I'm thinking that he's just going to attack here, so I can't try and do my Liquidate into Aqua Jet play, and even if I did, I don't have the Mystic Water anymore, so it's probably not going to kill. So we are... now... Liquidation into extreme speed might kill, but it's really not worth the risk. So the play is really to just get Chip with Aqua Jet because we are going to need it. Blaziken is deceptively tanky. He's not going to die to one hit the way that you think he does. So we definitely need this Chip, and indeed he does not set up. He just goes for a knockoff, which is a little bit unusual. It makes sense if he does have the third option. I was thinking maybe it was going to be Thunder Punch or something to not take any unnecessary chip with Flare Blitz or, risk me. I don't know. There's no way I live at that point of Flare Blitz, but still. And also doesn't want to reduce his defensive with close combat, so it just goes for that third option, which is knockoff for some reason. Maybe for, Gliscor if it was not done up, or it's good for Oricorio, or in general knockoff on my team, because I do not have a Mega Pokemon. I forgot to mention, every Pokemon on my team is Paldea Dex legal, which sucks. Fuck that. But at any rate, I like the team. So, yep. And now he's a +1, so we're going to bring out Regieleki, because we do Oko. We're going to threaten him here with that. So I'm thinking, alright, I've only got 1 out at this point, and it's making sure that I go ahead and I play to my out and I make this double. he endures. He does not go treads. He doesn't go eat any of the other Pokemon. He endures. So, is he just trying to stun on me with something? Okay, well, at this rate, I'm thinking, alright, well, I'm fucked. I obviously can't stay in with this because he is going to kill me with anything, and he's going to... I'm the win con here. So my play is to miraculously live with Regieleki. He goes for it again. What is he doing? I'm thinking at this point, he's got to be doing something weird. I also cannot simply wild charge into him because he's probably going to go for it again. So we are going to extreme speed. And now we have this revealed. Now he's thinking, oh shoot, I'm just going to die next turn. Oh, by the way, yes, he gets a Likey Berry up. Now he's going to outspeed me, but obviously I have extreme speed and I'm going to outspeed him. So at this point, I know that he can just switch out into treads, and yeah, I'm mostly thinking that he is going to switch out into treads, and I don't know, but he's so set up that I'm thinking maybe he just lets it go. Maybe he thinks that I can extreme speed him later, so might as well try and, you know, just take the L here. Plus, I'm thinking for some reason he may have, I don't know if he gets Vacuum Wave or anything weird like that. I know he doesn't get Mach Punch, but he's just weirding me out a lot right now. So he's kind of throwing me off my game. And so for that reason, I don't simply double into Zoroark on the treads. It may have been smart to do that, but he makes this play, and then he gets crit. Now, that play on its face, when I saw that switch, I was like, oh, it's over. But then it was Zapdos. It wasn't treads. And it turns out that he was trying to make a mid-ground. He thought that he could live to extreme speeds, which he actually can, I think, even after the crit. Let's do the calc, actually. I haven't been doing the calcs for many of these, but yeah, I have his sets. This is the custom Zapdos sets, 250, 240, versus our Regieleki. Week 1 banned. Extreme Speed actually does do 30% min, so no, he couldn't have. So the next play, that play was crazy. That play was crazy. However, yeah, he would live 2 if not for that crit. So that crit is huge, huge. It's true that going Zapdos is better against Zoroark. So really, he made the right play, but it ended up being kind of an over-predict because I made the wrong play. There was really no sense in extreme speeding there when he can preserve that Pokemon Endure on Zoroark if Regieleki is dead and beat it. So that, yeah, the mid-ground ends up punished by the crit. So you could say I get lucky here, but you're just going to have to see the way that it ends here, because I don't really think that this was pure luck, especially because I missed back-to-back Hurricanes, which I think a crit is it 6%, or is it 12%? I believe it's 6, and it's true that back-to-back Hurricane misses would probably be something more like 15. That's really bad math. I don't have it off the top of my head. So maybe I did have a little bit of luck with this crit here, and also because I made the wrong play. However, you know, he actually does not have Hurricane. Yeah, I have the set. I showed you here. No Hurricane. Can't touch my Zoroark. So yeah, I guess he was just trying to sack Zapdos there, but I really have this opportunity to go into Zoroark here. And this is really good. Really good. Zoroark in front of anything at this point, other than Blaziken at the beginning of the turn, is really good for me. So I am going to be able to pick this off, because I'm fearing Hurricane, so I can't just nasty plot there. Plus, you know, he could just go into anything. I simply have to attack. But on this, I am able to nasty plot. He gets the synthesis up, but I am going to 2-hit KO now. I wouldn't have done it before. Or do over 55, rather. So, yeah, and then I do that 55, and he goes for Earth Power. He really needed to, again. So, this is a wrong play from him. It wasn't just luck that wins me this, because if he rolls for that Sludge Bomb poison and he gets it, I don't think I win this. I don't think I win this, because I can't come back in on rocks, because I'm going to take 12 at that. So at that point, all he has to do is go Blaziken if I'm poisoned. Now, okay, he is going to actually do less. Here, I'll show you. So no, it's not the same damage. So I'm explaining this slightly wrong, but still. Real quick, hold on. So he's going to do 34 to 40%. It is a 2-hit KO from where I'm at, regardless. And it's not like he's ever going to kill with Earth Power. So I think, at any rate, rolling for that poison would have been the play on that turn. Because it really limits my ability to, you know, keep switching around if I'm taking damage every turn. So we do take out that extremely terrifying Venusaur. And now I'm thinking, yeah, let's show this calc real quick. His Blaziken custom set. By the way, yep, it is the reason he's enduring up with a Likey Berry is because of reversal. I don't know why it says no move, because it is endure. But on our Zoroark, he could have killed earlier. He was thinking that he couldn't kill. I don't know if he thought I was max HP for some reason, but he should have attacked earlier. I also, on Regieleki, I do have a little bit. I think it was maybe a roll at some point. I think it was at 64 earlier in front of it with a knockoff. I'm not going to go back and find out. Or, you know what, I might as well. Yeah, I was at 64. So I'm thinking, yeah, it makes sense for him to not knock off here. Plus, it may be advantageous for me to lose my band. So at that point, that's making sense why he's not knocking off there. However, when I'm about to take rocks, he should knock off here to prevent Regieleki. However, he has to endure, because otherwise I can call him doing something else and just attack into Blaziken, because then at this point I just sweep. At this point I just sweep with Zoroark if he does anything else. So he has to make the play that gives him the chance to win. And that means I get to go U and once again outspeed and have extreme speed. So now, shoot. Do I make the double again? Do I make the double again? Because at this point, yeah, he can just go in again and try to do the same thing. Nope, because I know he's going to scout for what I'm going to go with my band. And it's extreme speed, as you would imagine. And yeah, because maybe I choke, and I do something that maybe he thinks he can outspeed at +2, which he can't. But and now we simply make one of the winningest plays that I have ever made, and that is GG. Oh, how satisfying this was. What a great game. Next week we've got Cantaloupe Pie, or is it Cantaloupe Pie? Which, I don't know, that sounds kind of good. But he has got a pretty scary team too. So, yeah, I hope you enjoyed my first attempt at this post-com. Really like my 5th attempt or something. Man, if he had gotten these endures down, man, woo-wee. But this was an incredible game. So satisfying to be able to clutch this out. Yeah, I'm looking forward to a good season if this is the way it starts. Not gonna get cocky though, but yeah, let's go. I'll see you next week.